Republicans are not convinced with Erika Kirk's grieving and how quickly she moves on. Welcome back to my Christian take on this, where we react to some strange and not so strange videos. Let's go.
I mean, look at this face. As of the recording of this video, we're only 16 days out from a supposedly brutal, horrific assassination of the love of her life, of the father of her two children. And she's acting like it kind of didn't happen. Are we going to hear about the Romanian angels situation? Are we going to hear her address what some people are saying, that she's been banned from Romania for a certain thing that people are accusing her of? 16 days out. I would expect this maybe from somebody 16 months out. But I have grandparents, and I know people, and you probably do too, that still mourn the loss of a loved one who wasn't taken during a horrific assassination or some kind of unexpected accident. Something where maybe a loved one was struggling with cancer for a couple of years, going through chemotherapy, and the doctor's like, well, get your things in order because so-and-so only has 6 months or 12 months. And even after that, you don't recover like this. Even after preparing yourself 16 days out from the actual demise of the individual that you say you love, am I tripping? Or is this as bizarre to you as it is to me?
Somebody asked me about Charlie Kirk's widow, and I was really blunt and straight up with you about it. I get a weird feeling. I got a really bad feeling from her. It's just a vibe. But I don't like what I've been seeing from the organization ever since Charlie was murdered. And last night, somebody asked me about Erika, the widow, in the super chats, and last night I said, I'm getting this vibe from her that she's very fake. The 2 speeches she's given, the public appearances, I said, I really don't like how the whole organization, has been handling his death. It's gratuitous.
I am so over Erika Kirk, it's not even funny. And I know you knew exactly what I was getting at. Honestly, my first apprehension with her was during this IG carousel post where she's like posing on his dead body, like super distasteful, weird. And if that wasn't bad enough, this cringy speech during his memorial, man, I mean, like you can tell she was a former pageant queen, and this little moment right here, come on. The forgiveness of the shooter, like what is that? That is so rehearsed. And now, of course, she's the CEO of Turning Point, and she gets to host his podcast and laugh and smile. How dare I be so cynical to not think that this is the natural expression of a woman who just saw her 31-year-old husband get unalived in front of thousands of people in the most horrific way just a few weeks ago. I understand everybody grieves differently, but this looks like a hostile takeover. Changed my mind.
Did y'all hear Erika Kirk's statement? Charlie Kirk's wife? It got the internet talking right now. She didn't really sound like a widow that's grieving. This shit came off as like a rally speech. He said they won't silence him. But hold up. Who is they? The news and everybody else reported on one shooter. So why does it sound like she's talking about something bigger? Now, I'm not saying it's a psyop. I don't know. All I'm saying is people online is pointing out some crazy shit, like how fast they did the funeral or how fast this statement came out. They also said the tone felt aimed at the movement instead of the family. And that's why people asking these questions. Was this raw emotion, or was this a crafted message? Was she speaking as Charlie's wife, or was she speaking as a leader in the movement he built? I'm not making no claims. I'm just pointing out what people are noticing. And I'm not going to lie. is making me raise my eyebrows like The Rock. So what do y'all think down below in the comments about her speech, about everything, about the funeral, everything? Go listen to it if you haven't listened to it, and then come back and let me know. Do y'all think it's something bigger going on? I need the thoughts down below in the comments.
I've been sitting here not saying a word, but I'm telling you right now, I'm calling bullshit on this.
Day playing, and she would look at him. She watched the show every day. She couldn't email, but this was her version of emailing. Every day she'd watch the show. And she did it because Daddy would take the item that she gave to him and have it on the show with him. And sometimes he would say, like, this is the item that my daughter gave me. Sometimes he wouldn't, just to see if she was really watching. And so when he would come home, she would be like, Daddy, I saw the puppet on the show today. Daddy, I saw the moose on the show today. Daddy, you brought baby Buff on the show today? Like, so that was their little connection point of, and he loved it too, because it was a little piece of her that he could have with her on the show. But those little moments of,
I lost my grandfather in 2009, and I still cannot talk about sentimental things, or I will bawl my freaking eyes out. Now tell me how someone can lose their husband, the father of their 2 young babies, okay? And 15 days later, they're joking, they're laughing, they're having a great time, they're so excited about the future. When I lost my grandpa, I thought I lost my future. Don't give me that shit that she is just trying to cope, and that's her coping mechanism. Check out this video and see what you think. See if you see what I'm talking about.
only group will continue to go on. All of his socials that God has blessed us with, the people who follow those socials will go on. Nothing is changing. But I want to preface, we're not awkward. We're not like weird. We're not cringe. We're not going to be tweeting as if it's him. That's tone deaf and really disturbing. And anyone who does that's like morbidly off.
Yeah, think.
So we have speeches that no one's heard of. We have interviews that no one's heard of. We have stuff from Korea and Japan that no one's heard of.
Podcasts.
So, I mean, in the words of my husband, buckle up, because there is a lot of content to be had. And we have so many amazing things down the pipeline that we are working on currently that will
unveil in due time.
I am so excited.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm freaking talking about. I think it's odd. I think it's very odd behavior of a grieving widow. And I have never seen that before. And I'm 55 years old, so I've seen people lose their husband. I've seen people lose close family members, including myself. And that behavior is very off. Maybe I'm just being over emotional about this. I don't know. But what do you think about it? What do you think? Have you watched these videos? Tell me what you think about it in the comment section, because I'm telling you right now, I call bullshit.
Here's why Erika Kirk's statement was so weird. She is part of a cult, and that cult is MAGA and American Evangelical Christianity, which are basically one and the same, okay? That's why the statement was done from the Turning Point USA studios. What a vibe. And also it felt like an ad for Turning Point events and their website, and starting a local chapter in your high school for Turning Point if there isn't one, blah, blah, blah. The reason that she's doing all this is because when you're in a cult, they get to tell you what your grief means. They get to tell you what the passing of a loved one actually means. Yeah. When I was 17, 2 of my friends in the youth group at church passed away in a car accident just before I started my senior year of high school. And in the English class, a couple months later, my English teacher was my youth pastor's wife. I graduated from a private Christian school. She opened it up for people to kind of process, what they were feeling regarding the passing away of these 2 young people. I said, out of my mouth, true story, I think God saw what Satan had planned for these 2 young people in the future. And so he took them to heaven to be with him so that he could spare them from what the devil had planned for them later. That is some 4D chess rationalization shit, okay? My youth pastor's wife did nothing to contradict what I said, because I was repeating a dogma that I had been handed by the church. This is why people will say stupid things like, well, God just needed another angel in heaven. That's bullshit. He can create angels. Why did he need to give my 7-year-old bone cancer or whatever? You know what I'm saying? But the reason this works is because it's a cult. You're not an individual. You hand over your identity to the group. So anybody that's in a cult, and I escaped the American evangelical cult in 2017, okay? So I no longer have a cult self. I left that behind. I only have my authentic self. But when you're in the cult, your cult self gets to run the show. What you saw on that video with Erika Kirk, it's her cult self. That's why it seems so creepy. And I can tell from personal experience. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
So this is my all intuition, no base in fact theory about Erika Kirk and why I'm just not about it anymore. So as you probably know, she was Miss Arizona in 2012. Okay, she's about that pageant queen life. She's giving a very former 304 life. If you don't know what 304 means, just Google it. Again, I'm reminding you, there's a lot of intuition here. It's not based on facts, it's just feeling. She comes off like a reformed 304. My man Charlie over here, God rest his soul, he admitted on the Whatever podcast right here that he used to struggle with corn addiction. He was a gooner. I feel like him and Erika bonded over their past sins, right? I feel like she was like, yeah, I forgive you for your past sins of your corn addiction. And he's like, I forgive you for that 304 life. They bonded over that, I feel like. But that face, that says it all. She's playing the long game. She was playing on his weaknesses. She lured him in. The looks, whatever, the pageant queen appeal, the reformed 304 appeal. She secures the bag, has the beautiful kids, the whole thing. She knows he's a star. And at minimum, he's going to be a millionaire, senator, or congressman. Maybe president. High probability that this man was going to be a president someday. I mean, look what we lost. This dude was so genuine. And this is what, to me, bothers me the most. Because I see Erika and I see someone who is not genuine. And you can tell in her actions post his unaliving, with the podcast, with the smiles, with all the show, that it's just not real. I think what bugs me the most is you can tell this man was super genuine. You can tell this man had love. This man was devout. You can tell, and you don't have to agree with him. You can tell he was a good freaking dude. A genuine soul in politics, and that is the problem. Look, I'm sorry I voted for the guy, but there is a reason, whether you like it or not, that Trump is a douche. That the only people he cares about carry the last name Trump. Look at his speech when Charlie got unalived. It was just super like blah, like somebody prepared the statement. Like you could tell Trump did not give a shit about Charlie no matter how much Charlie helped him. And all the while you had this little creature over here luring him in, and I bet you anything she had a little notebook of what if. What if one day, Charlie has a lot of enemies, what if one day they get to him? What's the plan? I guarantee you she was plotting it. I'm not saying she was in on it. I'm just saying she had a notebook. She had some notes as to what is the protocol. And she probably even teamed up with some people at TP USA about this. What is the protocol for me to take advantage of a Charlie tragedy? This man did not deserve to be surrounded by wolves like that. And it's a shame, but it goes to show you that politics is a horrible game. And no matter how good you are, you could be sleeping right next to an Erika Kirk.
Everyone's praising Erika Kirk's memorial speech like it was brave, but when you actually start looking into her, it gets dark fast. And I stand on what I said. It seemed more like a rally than a memorial, and Charlie's own parents and sister didn't even attend. Grief isn't a performance, and what went down at that memorial definitely felt like one. First off, have you even looked into Erika Kirk, or looked into how her and Charlie even met? Erika and Charlie met in Israel. We all know that people in power set up relationships all the time. She won Miss Arizona 2012, a Trump-owned pageant. She was also an actress on a show called Summer House. She became a casting director for multiple nonprofits, also orphanages, including one named Roman's Angels. Go search it yourself because the stuff that comes up overseas is wild. And her dad worked in defense, running Raytheon's Israel division. Are you starting to connect the dots? Not long after Charlie started asking real questions, saying his morality was on the line, suddenly he's gone. Even one time Trump was asked about Charlie after his life was taken, he started talking about the ballroom in the White House. Now Charlie's entire platform is in Erika's hands. This is not random. It all leads to the same place. They used faith and forgiveness as a stage prop just to get more control.
Okay, this is the hot take. I do not know Erika Kirk personally or Jalika personally to know what they could have done, what were their goals and dreams, who they are personally, in whatever they do behind closed doors. But we can agree that it's a little tiny bit different from what we expect from a grieving widow. Because even if you're coming from a relationship, a long relationship, and it didn't work out, there's a way that it takes a toll on you, and you kind of like just take yourself out of social media and stuff like that. So for someone to really lose the love of their lives and them like coming out strong, something that we don't normally see because usually people break down. So we're seeing a kind of like hope. She's coming out. She's keeping the vision going on because the vision. And so we're asking ourselves, I wouldn't do that. I think the entire thing is based off of I wouldn't grieve like that. I did grieve like that. I see people grieving and they don't grieve like you are grieving. And because you're not grieving like the way that I would be grieving or the way that the other person grieved or something like that, I think then you're faking it. So the thing is, I want to hear you guys in the comments. Let's go. And let's come from a place of course these are all opinions, right? I want all of us to come from a seasoned mindset. See the side that you're supposed to do, but also see what she's doing, and let's try to be rational about these things because this man has been unalived, he has been murdered, he has been assassinated. So everyone we're looking at everyone under a microscope. So that's why we are seeing Erika Kirk like that. We are seeing Simanya Hu like that. We are seeing everything under a microscope because this is something that has been tragic. And so we say that to say that we send our prayers to the grieving widow. Guys, grief looks different. So do you know what's up, what's going on? We send our prayers. It's Erika Kirk. Yeah. That's it. Oh, see you guys in the next video.